What's up, y'all? Peace and light and love. I wanted to stop through real quick because I want to go through my closet. I got a lot of shit in my closet, y'all. And I mean a lot of stuff, to the point where I'm going to my closet looking for something to wear each day. And I'm like spoiled for choice. And so I was watching a lot of folks that really get, into this whole closet organization thing and everything. And they were talking about this concept called the capsule wardrobe. And this is when they get like a select few outfits, the most pristine, no doubt, right? And then you incorporate those particular staple pieces in your wardrobe, right? And you just build off of them and everything, right? So you get you a good pair of pants, you get you a good pair of, a skirt, whatever, what have you, right? And then you will match them up. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little twist on that, right? Because I've been seeing a lot of folks, like I was scrolling through, TikTok and everything. And one of the things that really made me sad is that I was listening to a sister talk about how, sitting in affluent crowds and all of the things you need to wear and the things that you need to look out for. And I remember there being a point in time in my life, y'all, when I would have done anything to be able to sit at one of those particular tables. And so I would have definitely been tuning into this particular discussion on all of the things that need to happen, all of the mannerisms and everything, because I ain't know that shit, right? And so I really wanted to understand like how to fit in so that I can get myself into alignment with that energy, that frequency, that vibration and everything, right? But as I started really tapping into that particular energy and everything, I started recognizing how inauthentic that was for me, right? And so with that, I started really realizing like how empowering, how inspiring our wardrobes are, right? And like how a lot of magic can be brought up out of that and everything, right? And so for me, I got Venus in my first house. So this is the way that I'm wired, no doubt about that, right? And so when I got that Venus in my first house, like my appearance is important to me, no doubt, man. And so with this, I got to make sure that I'm holding an appearance that's suitable for me, because when I look good, I feel good. And when I feel good, that's when I do good. You understand? And so this is extremely important to me. I also want to make sure that I'm raising my vibration. I'm aligning myself to the wealth frequency and everything, right? And so I want to make sure that the image that I'm portraying is inspiring all of that within myself, right? So when I look in the mirror and everything, I'm recognizing that I'm in alignment for whatever goal it is, what have you, that I got, and I'm about the business of that. Now, as I become a little bit more educated in all of this thing about like the material, the energy, the frequency, the vibration and everything, I started recognizing how much the material of the garments that I wear, they absolutely matter, almost more than anything, more than the style combined. But what I started doing is really tapping into my own unique style by using blank canvas clothing and everything, that and then bringing those key accessories into it, right? That's really helping me to bring my own unique expression to the table, right? Now, I used to go for a lot of stuff like this. I still like shit like this. You know what I'm saying? The loud designs and everything. I'm a fiery energy, no doubt. But also having that first house, you know what I'm saying? That first house, the rising, the ascendant in Virgo and everything. The other thing is for me is to really be able to bring that neat, polished look to the table and everything, right? And so me being on that Virgo, Pisces spectrum and everything, right? I like that bohemian type of vibration, no doubt about it, right? But I also enjoy having that polished look and bringing those into play, right? And so I combine those looks together periodically and everything. Some days I'm outliering, no doubt, you know what I'm saying, where I'm putting on something wild, flashy, and just outright flamboyant, right? All depending on how I'm feeling. I got that Cancer moon, so I'm going to change the hell up, baby, no doubt about it. And that Leo energy really helps me to really be inspired to shine my light in some powerful ways. And so with that, I want to make sure that I'm bringing my energy into the things that I wear. And so this right here, for me, it's not really an easy task because I got so many things that I just don't want to let it go. And I've been accumulating clothes like for over the years and everything. And somebody like me, I'm kind of a pack rat, right? And so I get something and I hold on to it. And even if I can't fit it, I tell myself I'm going to diet myself into this outfit because I really love it. So one thing that I did last year is I went through a purging, right, of all of the things that were no longer me anymore, no longer speaking to the person that I have become, that I have developed into and everything, starting to purge all of those, right? So I'm getting rid of a lot of the business suit, like corporate America, that whole vibration and look is not speaking to me. Now, I kept a couple of them in case I got something I need to participate in and whatever, you understand? So I did keep a couple of them and everything, and they sit there just in case I got to show up for something, you know what I'm saying? So I had to keep on to it. Now, this is my logic. Y'all know, like I said, this is how I get down and do it because I have a hard time releasing shit. So this is difficult for me, mind you, okay? And so this is my process in being able to allow myself to release all of these things. Now what I'm prioritizing, right, is the material. The material, it matters and everything. So what I've been doing is going through my clothing, right, finding those key pieces that have the highest vibration fabrics, right? So what I'm looking for right now, especially in the summertime, is those linens, right? Wintertime, I'm looking for wools. Those are the higher vibration fabrics, right? I love the silk. Silk is such a protective fabric, and even if the vibration isn't high, it makes up for all of that shit because it is so protective as a garment within itself. It's good for wrapping your hair. It's good for like really being able to protect your energy and everything, right? And so I'm incorporating the silk definitely into the wardrobe, no doubt about that and everything, right? So the other thing that I also want to make sure that I'm bringing into is the natural cotton, the hemp, and all of those other things, right? I don't think I have too many hemp, but I got a couple of the organic cotton. I got regular cotton. Those really don't affect the vibration as much, right? But they're definitely a lot more helpful than the synthetic fibers and everything. Like this one I got on right here, this is definitely a polyester fiber and everything. But I've grown this attachment to it and everything. And so now I'm not saying that I'm flushing absolutely everything just now because I'm a work in progress, no doubt, and I really like some of this shit that I got, that synthetic fabric and everything. So the stuff that I absolutely love, I'm gonna hold on to it, and the things that, you know, maybe so much and all of that other stuff, or I love it but I'm just not wearing it anymore and everything, I'm gonna get rid of it. And those ones that I'm kind of struggling with, because this is my struggle, family, then I'm gonna allow that shit to go by the wayside, and I'm gonna have to really sit with that and like really figure out, like, what am I doing? Am I wearing this? Am I not wearing this? Because if not, then we can go ahead and release it and let it go. So this right here is going to be an emotional process for me, but I just felt led to do this because it's time for me to really begin getting some organization and some order, because one of the things that's really been challenging me lately is just like figuring out what to wear. And it ain't because I don't have anything to wear. It's almost like I got too much to wear. And so I really need to really begin narrowing that shit down so that I can move into a more efficient process as I'm starting my day. I'm changing my routines. I'm changing my rituals. I'm moving towards my 50th birthday, family, and I am ready to make some major life transformations, right? And now I've been saying this for quite some time. Let's not get it twisted and everything. I'm a change my mind type of chick, right? It's feeling real good and I'm in the vibration of that. And once I start feeling good, I feel like I can set that off by the wayside. But as I recognize, as I get old, if I want this to be a graceful process and everything, like, I really gotta be in the business, the consistent practice of taking care of myself. So making things more efficient in my process is going to help me along my journey. And so with that, I'm going to clear out the closet. I'm going to clear out the diet, right? I'm not here to take no extreme measures and tell everybody I'm just go deal with raw food. I'm only go deal with vegan food and everything. Now listen, this is a powerful thing to do, because I'm going to start it off with a cleanse where I'm doing those extreme things, right? Giving myself the opportunity to hit that reset so that I can move forward, making more cleaner choices as I go ahead, right? So this is going to be a lifestyle conversion. I'm I'm really feeling motivated at this particular time because I'm moving towards a major milestone in my life. And so what I want to do is simplify my life. And by doing that, right, is by changing my rituals, by changing my processes and everything. And so with that, I'm bringing this right along with this particular work that I'm doing, because I realize, like, there's a lot of us that's in this energy, right? You might not be turning 50, right? But you definitely recognize that there's some opportunities to shift and everything. I'm going through so many changes, like menopause, all of this other shit that's happening and everything. Like, shit's getting real out here for me, right? And then we got a lot of these transits, a lot of these things that's happening and shit like that, right? And so it's really like, it's really like difficult sometimes for me to gain my momentum and everything, especially when I got these placements that has me a little wired to just like really go for comfort and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's where my motivation is at and everything. Now, I'm not here to try to put all of the blame on my astrology chart and say that I ain't taking no responsibility. Me being aware of that, right, is what's going to give me that strength, that momentum, and that awareness, right, to recognize like where my blind spot might be at, right? Also in recognizing like the things that really motivate me, so that I can kind of make sure that I'm addressing those particular energies, raising the frequency on it so that I don't move into these spaces of lower vibration choices, right? So it's important, and for me, in checking my astrology chart, right, and making sure that I am working with this energy so that it supports me in moving forward and everything. And so during this particular process, I'm going to allow all of my divine supports, all of the A team is what I call them, to really come through, help me out in some profound ways, so that I can bring in some proficiency, some efficiency in my life, right? So that I can really set myself up for a seamless process that's really going to help in elevating me as I move forward, as I begin to get older, as I begin to mature and everything. This is all about me making sure that I'm moving into these chrome phases, right, in this graceful energy, right? Don't want to be the old lady that's popping off at folks all of the time and everything, because I'm going through these hormonal changes and I'm doing a lot of moves that's really working against me and not for me, right? Really moving myself, elevating myself into this space, right, where I can really be in this wisdom state. That's what we talking. Yes, in this wisdom state, so that I can really be of assistance and really be able to support the folks that are around me out here in this particular world. And so with me, this is all about me gaining this order in my life. So I'm gonna go on this journey and everything. I've been talking for a minute. I like to ramble sometime and everything. However, I'm gonna go on this journey. We're gonna talk about that. I'm gonna go through my closet. I'm gonna select a few outfits. I'm gonna get rid of the rest of them, right? But, you know, because, you know, I ain't really big on just tossing my stuff, because I like the stuff. And when I go shopping, I get stuff that I like and everything. But one of the things that I'm going to do is begin moving some of the stuff, picking all of the top tier stuff that I enjoy. Then I'm going to select the 4 or 5 items and everything to make that capsule wardrobe that's going to work with me for this particular month of July, right? And as I move forward, my birthday, August 4th, right? So as I move forward into my birthday and everything, I'm going to work that particular system, see how that works for me and everything, see how well that's been working out. And then I can begin incorporating things as I start making these adjustments and everything, to begin moving forward and making these choices in my wardrobe, in my life, right, that support me on a holistic level. I am getting excited just thinking about this shit, y'all. So this is not going to be easy for me, because I have been kind of undisciplined for quite some time. You know, I like me and I like to give myself a break, you understand, right? And so with that, I've just been really allowing myself to overindulge and get into a lot of shit that probably was not for my greatest good. You know, I like wings, I like wine, I like weed, you know, all of them things right there that really expand me and everything. everything. And now we got Jupiter in Cancer. I do realize, like, I'm going to start really craving these things that nurture us. See, that Jupiter in Cancer energy, right? It brings this expansive energy, right? Not only in your emotional state, right? But those things that bring you comfort. I know Jupiter in Taurus is definitely one that can do that, right? Bringing out the foodie in folks, right? But this Jupiter in Cancer, it makes you want to grab towards those comfort foods and all of those other things like that and everything. So this is a time for us to really begin checking in. And with all of these retrogrades that are coming in right about now, this is going to be an auspicious opportunity for us to begin. Retrogrades are check-ins, right? To begin checking in with all of those areas in our life that we need to make these adjustments, no doubt about it. Because right now we got that North Node that's in Pisces that's really opening us up to be a little bit more aware, a little bit more compassionate and everything. And how we do that, when we looking at our South Node, it's in Virgo. Virgo deals with our routines, our rituals and everything, and those things that support our wellness. So this right now is an auspicious time for us to begin tapping into this particular energy. Me, on the other hand, I got that Pluto going off in my 6th house. And that 6th house, again, is ruled by Virgo, which is about them routines and all of that other stuff. But of course, with that Aquarian energy and everything, even though it's fixed there, keeping my mind on the prize, no doubt about it, we can get a little aloof and start, and let it fall by the wayside and everything. What I'm doing, baby, is I'm really going to set myself up in a routine that I enjoy. Because what I do recognize is that if I don't like that shit, I ain't doing that shit after a while. Because like I said, I like me and I want to make sure that I'm happy. And so with that, I'll do some things that probably will make me happy in the short term. But in the long term, it's going to turn into something different. Now I'm really moving and operating with a little bit more integrity, a little bit more wisdom in this 9 year, so that I can really begin to make these adjustments, hitting the reset button, recalibrating myself for, I ain't gonna say the last and final time, because this is an ongoing process, no doubt about it and everything, but really being in this space of accountability. And this is what I am praying for. I ain't even gonna say hoping, because see, this is what I know for sure. You know what I'm saying? This is what I know for sure. Change is happening within me. When that shift starts to come in and everything, then I start thinking about all of the components, all of the routines, all of the rituals that I can begin creating to help in elevating myself. This is when I know that the shift is beginning to set in. And so with that, come on and join me on this and everything. Let's elevate ourselves. Let's go ahead and grow and age gracefully. We ain't growing old, we growing out, we growing up, we elevate, no doubt about that. And this is about the mind, the body, right? This is about the spirit, right? When we combine all of those together, this is what opens the door for some for real badassery. You better believe it, family. And so with that, I'm going to incorporate everything that I know. Everything that I know. I ain't leaving no stone unturned. I got too much damn knowledge out here in these particular streets to not be living in the victory that I'm supposed to be living in. You know, and so with that, I'm going to be really making sure that I'm incorporating all of the knowledge, getting the messages from the divine, getting out there in nature, seeing what spirits is showing up for me, bringing me that message and everything, getting the A-team involved with these card pools and helping me and being able to navigate this energy for the day, looking in the cosmos, seeing where that energy is lying at and everything, and making sure that it's getting in alignment. Like, this is something that I've been doing, but this is going to be like the consistent practice that fits into the everyday routines and rituals and everything. Not that thing that I do on Tuesday and then maybe on Saturday as well, but we talking every day. You understand what I'm talking? And so the shift is in. I'm feeling it. I hope you guys are. Let's get it, y'all. Let's get this business. I wanted to just stop through with that, but I'm going to come back because I don't want to be on here all long and everything. And then we going to go through these clothes and we'll talk about some things and everything. And hopefully this is inspiring you to really begin making these select choices. Because see, we got all the tools that we need to win, right? Right here in our closet. We need to shop our closet. See, we get on in our mind, especially me, that I need to be out here shopping in the street and getting me something new. I need that new item that's going to help me along my journey and everything. everything. And once I started realizing I got all of the tools to win, and this is why I'm standing in front of my closet, scratching my head, figuring out what I'm going to wear and everything, this is when I knew that there was a shift that needed to take place. And so with that, I'm going to definitely be doing that. We're going to get this work, family. I wanted to stop through. Peace, light, and love. See you soon. Peace.